The bearded manager glared at Walter and demanded that he immediately hand over the negatives. He had hoped for a little more time, but the manager dismissed him outright.
More than 1 million, way more, negatives have come through my office. I've never mislaid one.
Put it on a plaque, hang it at your next job.
Moreover, he learned from his colleagues that Cheryl had also lost her job. Walter then turned and went to Cheryl's doorstep, intending to give the skateboard he had with him to her son. However, when the door opened, a man answered. Sighing, Walter could only awkwardly explain that he was a colleague. The man then turned around and called out,
Honey?
At that moment, Walter realized he shouldn't be there. He left the skateboard by the door and walked away. Disheartened, Walter returned home, and the first thing he did was discard that meaningless wallet. Yet, to his surprise, he discovered a photo of an indistinct part that turned out to be of the piano his father had given to his mother. It turned out that a week earlier, Sean had visited him because Walter had always managed to showcase Sean's work perfectly. In Sean's eyes, Walter truly understood life, and he was curious about what kind of person Walter was. That very photo was taken by his mother. But now, nothing seemed to matter. Walter told his mother that he had lost that negative, and most of the foreign words on Sean's itinerary were ones he couldn't decipher. To his astonishment, his mother mentioned warlords, a term that Sean had brought up to her a week earlier, and that word exactly corresponded to the magician listed on the itinerary. His mother explained that Sean planned to bribe warlords with the cake she made in order to secure the freedom to travel and photograph snow leopards or something of that sort. Sure enough, Walter found Sean's next itinerary online. It was for an anarchic Afghanistan, with his final destination being the Himalayas. Thus, Walter took out the travel backpack his father had given him and embarked on a journey to Afghanistan. He began writing in that long-forgotten travel journal, recording everything he experienced along the way. He hired 2 assistants who accompanied him as he ascended the Himalayas and received the blessing of the mountains. Following Sean's example, he even shared his mother's delicious cake with the warlords. Throughout his journey, he crossed towering mountains and traversed snow-capped peaks. When he arrived at a totem site, his 2 assistants signaled that he must continue on his own. And so, Walter began to walk alone at the roof of the world, where the snowy peaks glistened in the sunlight and the majestic mountains revealed nature's masterful artistry. After who knows how long, he received a call from the TED. Walter already had a complete profile, but unfortunately, Cheryl had cancelled her account. Walter calmly accepted this fact and even requested that customer service help him cancel his own account. Before he knew it, he had found himself alongside Sean. Walter introduced himself to Sean. Sean was very surprised to see Walter there.
How the hell did you get up here?
Walter then inquired about negative number 25, and Sean's response was both laughable and tear-inducing.
It's in your wallet. That was the gift. The photograph. The wallet was just something I could put it in, so I put it in a little slot, a little picture holder in there. I thought it'd be cute.
Walter longed to know what is the negative number 25, but Sean offered no explanation. Just as he had said, beautiful things never seek attention. When Walter returned to Los Angeles, he was detained, until someone could verify that he was indeed Walter. He thought of the perfect candidate, Ted. With his help, Walter was finally released. He recounted the entire saga about Cheryl, from registration to deactivation, emphasizing that she had never responded to anyone. Walter then sold the piano. His mother had asked him to put the check in his wallet, but he had no wallet. Instead, his mother retrieved the one Walter had discarded, for it was her habit to collect little trinkets of her son, and the negative number 25 was inside that wallet. Walter returned to the company and handed over the negative to the bearded manager. He then asked that man whether he knew the company's motto.
Life. I am loving it.
That's McDonald's. This thing that you do, Ted, where you come into a place and you push people out, you should know that those people worked really hard to build this magazine. They believed in the motto. And I get it, you got your marching orders and you have to do what you have to do. But you don't have to be such a dick. Put that on a plaque and hang it at your next job.
Walter's daydreams gradually diminished, replaced by a more composed acceptance of reality. Later, on a job hunting day, Walter received an email from Cheryl's son. He thanked Walter for the gift and attached a video showing that he had now mastered performing a kick flip with impressive skill. On the day Walter collected his severance pay, he inadvertently spotted a figure resembling Cheryl. He chased after her and called out. This time, it was not a mere daydream. Cheryl was puzzled, asking why he had suddenly disappeared that day. Walter explained the incident truthfully, revealing that the whole episode had been a misunderstanding. Her ex-husband had come home merely to repair a broken refrigerator, nothing more. With the misunderstanding cleared, their relationship returned to what it once was. As they passed by a newsstand, they wanted to see what the final issue's cover looked like. The cover's slogan was dedicated to the people who made it, and it turned out that negative number 25 was, in fact, a portrait of Walter himself, who had devoted 16 years of diligent work to Life magazine. And thus, the film came to an end. The so-called daydream is really a form of self-healing, a mental escape valve for the urban workforce. As neurologist Oliver Sacks once said, fantasy is the brain's self-sustaining oxygen system when reality is deprived of oxygen. Most people lead unremarkable lives, they have never been to places worth mentioning or done things worth noting. Yet, one day you will discover that the missing negative number 25 in your life's film, the one you've been desperately chasing but never obtained, is actually yourself, and you, in essence, are the meaning of life. Life is inherently centered on you. The more we chase its symbols, the further we stray from life itself.